I remember I had a class in like ninth or 10th grade, and they asked you to write down the 10 people that influenced you the most. And it was 5 people in pop culture and 5 people in your real life, and everybody did their moms and their dads, and then it did like the president and stuff like that. But I don't even have a list anymore. I just remember doing it. I don't even remember who I did. But I did a list the other day, and I did all pop culture of the people that influenced me, that made me the person I am today, humor-wise, that made me strive to better myself. And so I'm kind of just going to do that list, and maybe just watch this in a year and see if it changes at all. Alright, the first one would be Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld. That's 1 and 2. I remember early on, I was a big Simpsons and Family Guy, American Dad, and all those really kind of juvenile shows. And I started watching Seinfeld, and it's a lot more smart, obviously. Smart humor. No, I mean, I'm not knocking those other shows, but they just, they're not smart humor. It's fart jokes, and it's potty humor, and it's sex. Seinfeld really went at it at a different angle and really examined it to the extreme, I would say. That's how I would say. And Larry David also did Curb Enthusiasm. It's a great show. The second one would be Jim Carrey. He made me laugh, and he made me want to make other people laugh. So, yeah. Will Ferrell, same thing, just at a different point in my life, I think. And his humor is a lot more, not edgy, but I don't know. It's different than Jim Carrey. Everyone knows that. Then Dennis Miller. This is a big one. Dennis Miller, because I would watch his stand-up shows, and every single time there would be a word that I wouldn't understand. I mean, I think most people don't understand at least one word that Dennis Miller says. And he's got a vast vocabulary. And so that really got me I read the dictionary when I was 17 years old, and I started wanting to learn more words, and he was probably the first one. Him and another guy that's coming up really instigated me instigated the want to know better words. I could have said that better, by the way, that sentence, if I know so many. Anyway, Jason Gann. This is a more recent one. He's the dog on Wilfred. He made me realize that humor can be dark, and it can be deeper than just it can not just be physical humor, or it's humor that you think about later. And every one of those shows I'm thinking about later in the day. It's really interesting. Adam Carolla. This one's another late guy. I discovered him on one of his rants I found on YouTube or something, and I started really loving his rants. I listened to his podcast, and I listened to old Loveline episodes. Hilarious. I would say one of the most genuinely funny people in America, because if you listen to Loveline, nothing is scripted in that show, and he just goes. It's really interesting to listen to just pure humor. He just oozes humor. And the last 3 are artists, musical artists. Eminem was the first person I really connected to as far as musical, and I remember not knowing how to deal with it until I dealt with it, which became, I used to write raps, and they were really stupid at first, but they got better. And made me want to be a writer in general, and I'm writing right now. But and if it takes me any further than it is right now, then it would be because of him. Honestly, I mean, he was just amazing. And also made me want to be more complex. If I like somebody who's dumber, like Lil Wayne, or all these other rappers that just really aren't smart rappers, I don't know what I would, if I would even be a writer now. But Eminem, smart and writes complex, and so that's something I wanted to be. Kanye West. This one is another recent one. I wouldn't have put him on here. I mean, I've always been a fan, but I wouldn't have put him on here. Kanye West, when My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy came out, I was blown away. I mean, before that I listened to mostly rap, and then as I started listening to that, I wanted to, because it was so artistically bound, I wanted to look at other venues in music, and looking at different genres, and I really, as soon as that hit, it just exploded with new. And I used to go to the UK for music. I used to go to just underground and just artists I wouldn't normally listen to, and old genres too. And the final one is Brandon Flowers, The Killers. This one is kind of new, but he and The Killers really, it's a lot of, I know a lot of people say this, but a lot of their songs, they're not written for me, but they're written, it seems like, I mean, it reminds me of certain girls, certain times in my life, and they're just a great band. I love them. So those are the 10 people, and give me your 10, I guess. I don't know. This is mostly for me, but alright, thanks.